state the possible number of positive, negative, and imaginary zeros for each function. Don't find the zeros, just find the possibilities. This is Descartes' rule of signs. Okay, I gave you a table. You may not necessarily use the whole thing. All right, so let's start counting the sign changes. So those are both positive, so we don't have one there. We've got one there, one there, one there. Oh, we've got quite a few. So we have 4, and remember we have to keep subtracting 2. So we've got 4, 2, or 0. Possible, positive, real roots. Okay, so now we need to find f of negative x. Remember the signs change for the odd exponents only. So negative 6x to the 5th plus 11x to the 4th plus 3x to the 3rd plus 10x squared plus 7x plus 12. Interesting. There's only one sign change. So 1 possible negative real root. Okay, total roots, 5. I don't know how many of these I'm going to need, so. Okay, so positive real roots. I could have 4. I can only have one negative one. So if I have 4 positive, 1 negative, I can't have any imaginary ones. If I have 2 positive and 1 negative, I could have 2 imaginary. That would give me my 5. If I have no positive and 1 negative, I'd have to have 4 imaginary, and that would give me my 5. And that's all the possibilities. Okay, so I didn't even need that bottom row. I think this is so cool, and I think it's really beneficial. Okay, describe the transformation and then graph. All right, so this one, I can see how this one could be a little tricky. I wouldn't factor out the -2 or anything like that, just take it at face value. So what I would say is that you've got a reflection in the x-axis. You've got a stretch by 2, okay, that's that, and it's down 2. Okay. As far as points go, you got to be careful because you want ones that are going to fit on here the best that you can. I mean, if it goes over a little bit, that's okay, but I don't want to have like 100 and something. Try to keep it on the graph. So let's put in -1. So -1 cubed is -1 times 2 is 2. So this is 0. If I put in 0, this is -2. And if I put in 1, this is -4. I really wish that would stay when I moved the thing up. Let me just check. I just want to make sure I did my math right. Yeah. All right, so let me move that up. So I've got, I know basically what it's going to look like. So -1, 0, 0, -2, 1, -4. And since it's negative and it's cubic, it's going to come down like this. So it basically looks like that. Okay. All right, number 18. So we've got x to the 4th, so it looks like a flattened out parabola. And this one is just translations, right? We're moving left 2 and down 3. And if I want to keep this one on the graph, -2 is a good one because that gives me 0, so -3. Let's do -1 because that makes this 1. 1 minus 3 is -2. And if I do 0, oh no, 0 is too big. Let's see, what do I have on here? -3, yeah, that makes sense. So -3 gives me -1 to the 4th is, okay, -2. All right, so -2, -3, -1, -2, -3, -2. So -2, -3, -1, -2, -3. Okay, so it's going to come down and be kind of flat, and then go up like that. Okay, number 19 and 20. We can get them both on right here. Okay, we've got this polynomial. Oh, and there's a typo right here. That should be an x. X squared minus 3x plus 1. On the key, I wrote it in a little more detail. I was hoping that that would help. I'll explain it a little bit more here. We've got x squared minus 3x plus 1, a vertical stretch by a factor of 3. Okay, so let's just do that. Remember, a stretch or a shrink, we put it in front of the whole thing and then it gets distributed. So we have 3x squared minus 9x plus 3. And then a translation 3 units down. Okay, that's the next thing. We drop it 3 down. That gives me 3x squared minus 9x, and then the 3's cancel, right? And then followed by a reflection in the y-axis. All right, that might be a little trickier, unless you remember, if it's even, it doesn't change. If it's odd, it does. So it's 3x squared plus 9x. If I went too fast, watch this again and slow down the speed. Some people do that, it really helps. Okay, x cubed plus 5. Translation 2 units to the right. We talked a little bit about this. Remember, when we're going to the right, it's f of x minus 2. And so the x gets replaced by x minus 2. So you put in x minus 2 cubed plus 5. Okay? Followed by a reflection in the y-axis. That's it. Okay, looks like I need to go on, or I need to cut this short, and I will do more in the next video.